11 a.m. here in Seoul. I'm Oh Soo-young at the Arirang News Centre. We're breaking into our regular programming to bring you a live briefing from the South Korean health authorities on the coronavirus outbreak here in the nation. In just a few moments, we'll cut into the briefing at the Sejong Government Complex with simultaneous interpretation available for you in English. We're going to go into the briefing room now where Yoon Tae-ho, Director General of Public Health Policy, will be sharing the latest figures and updates on the COVID-19 situation in the country. He will be talking about the efforts that the government has been making to contain the further spread of the virus, especially here in the capital where there have been further resurgences of the COVID-19 situation in what authorities are calling a second wave. So the government will be updating us on what measures it has been preparing and what measure it has been taking, and updating us on the progress on that as well. He is also due to tell us the latest figures on the number of infection cases that have occurred in the past 24 hours, as well as the additional deaths that the country has seen. So Director Yoon Tae-ho has now made an entrance to the briefing room, and it looks like he will begin the briefing very shortly.
First, here is Mr. Yoon Tae-ho with the briefing on the COVID-19 situation. Let us now begin our regular briefing for July 27th, Monday. As of today, midnight, we have 9 new local infections and 16 new imported cases. As of today, midnight, the total number of confirmed cases now stands at 14,175. A total of 971 people are in quarantine. Unfortunately, we had one more fatality, and the death toll now stands at 299. I extend my deepest condolences to the deceased and the members of the bereaved family. This morning, the KCDC held a meeting presided over by Health Minister Bang Neung-hoo, and we discussed issues to intensify quarantine measures for entertainment facilities, as well as effective management of temporary shelter facilities. And he says that with the sporadic increase in the number of imported cases, he said that we need to have an effective management of the temporary shelter facilities where foreign entrants to Korea that are complied to stay for 14 days for self-quarantine. And as we had 0 case of local infection stemming from these temporary shelter facilities, he asked for the citizen support as well. Lately, the local domestic infections is being decreased to a stable situation. However, we are continuing to see sporadic outbreaks of the cluster infections in the metropolitan area. Together with this, we are seeing an increase in the number of imported cases with the research of the virus abroad as well. And we also had the case of the Russian flagship, which is spreading to the local infections, and we need to make sure that these imported cases do not spread the virus to local communities. And to this end, the government will also continuously to monitor the situation and effectively curb the number of influx of the imported cases. And during the summer holidays, we will also make sure that we do not have a large cluster infection, and we will also have a stricter control and monitoring of the entertainment facilities. In order to curb the influx of the imported cases, we will intensify our monitoring for the countries with high risks of infection, and we will also discuss the issues to improve the sharing of the burden for the medical costs of these foreign imported cases as well. First, as for intensified measures here in the Korea, we will make sure that we will have a deeper and more full-fledged control on the entertainment facilities. We have so far designated 12 high-risk facilities, and we have mandated the compliance of quarantine measures, and these include bars as well as door-to-door sales facilities. However, ahead of the upcoming holiday season, reason, we believe that there is more need for us to intensify such a measure. And especially taking the early May as an example, which led to a cluster infection in the Itaewon Club case, we also will provide a guideline, specific guideline for the local governments. And these quarantine measures will be provided and mandated to facilities that are crowded and that have close contact among the users. And this includes clubs, the bars, and other related entertainment facilities. But also they include party guest house and club parties. And we will also look at these facilities going forward. And as for these facilities, depending on the discretion by the local government, we will provide, on top of the current quarantine measures, we will provide intensified quarantine measures. So these will be suggested for these facilities. And they will also improve and be based on the area of the facility. And we will also provide the number of the restriction of the number of users, and also having 1 hour of break time in between, and also include measures on a possible booking in advance system. And we believe that this system could give some inconveniences to the users and the owners of such facilities. However, we believe that they are inevitable to prevent further spread of the COVID-19 virus. After the Golden Week holiday in early May, we believe that all of the public could remember the resurgence of the virus centering around the Itaewon Club case. Next, we have some updates on the use of the shelter facilities for the foreign entrants. So far, we had about 2,306 foreign imported cases. Among them, 1,544 were South Koreans, while foreigners amounted to 762. And a total of 1,135 have been spotted at the points of entry, while on the community level they have been spotted about 1,171. And currently, with the ease of the many lockdowns in many countries around the world, we believe that the number of imported cases to South Korea will also continue to increase continuously. And we will cooperate with the other ministries, and we will have a task force of about 562 personnel, and we will also we have been in operation some 14 facilities nationwide to house about 4,800 people. And also we have these facilities going forward and going in operation in the future as well. And we also have mobilized a lot of our administrative staff members, and this is a big burden to our administration as well. However, we believe that these will be outsourced to the private sector so that we could alleviate these burdens. And they also include the tasks of managing the operation of the facilities, and they will be entrusted to the private sector, including the hotels and guest houses and so forth. However, the areas and tasks that need the crucial efforts of quarantine will be carried out by our government officials. And we will continue to look at the number of the employees who are mobilized to the sector, and they will be switched to the private sector so that they could create more jobs to our public. And we will also contribute to the vitalization of the local economies by buying some supplies at that specific locations. However, this does not mean that we will entrust all of our core operations to the private sector. Amid the upcoming summer holidays, we believe that about 23% of the public have said that they would go on summer holidays during this weekend. And amid the post-COVID-19 era, we ask you to stay at home for your summer holidays to keep yourselves healthy and safe. Inevitably, if you have to go on a summer vacation, please remember that you need to have to comply with 3 do's and 3 don'ts. You have to wear masks when indoors, and also minimize your stay at rest places, and please keep a healthy distance of 2 meters with others. And also, if you have a fever, please do not go on a public holiday, on summer holiday. And when you are going to close and crowded, close contact environment, please avoid crowded hours, and also minimize physical contact and activities that increase the travel of respiratory droplets. So these are the 3 don'ts that you need to remember at all times. The government will going forward will look at the current situations, and we will continue to stay vigilant in order to enable a very safe environment for you all during the summer holidays. So we ask you to continue to remember these quarantine guidelines during the summer holidays as well. Thank you very much.
네, 지금부터 질의응답 시간을 갖도록 하겠습니다. 14시 10분 중앙.
That was Director General of Public Health Policy Yoon Tae-oh speaking to us from a briefing from the Sejong Government Complex. He just told us that there were 25 additional infection cases of COVID-19, bringing the accumulated total to 14,175. There was unfortunately 1 additional death, bringing the total death toll to 299 in Korea. That wraps up our coverage of this morning's briefing. Thank you for staying with us, and we'll be back shortly with our regular midday newscast. Bye for now.